Arab News, 31st of March 2023. According to China, there have been substantial geopolitical shifts this decade as a result of the rising of China, the shifting of attention to the Middle East, and the decline of the West. On Friday, an international relations specialist warned the FII Priority conference in Miami that Russia's invasion of Ukraine poses the same existential threat to Europe and the West that Iraq's invasion of Kuwait in 1990 did for the Middle East. At the conference, John Chipman, Director General and Chief Executive of the International Institute for Strategic Studies, spoke about the significant geopolitical changes the globe will soon be experiencing. He emphasized that while the West acknowledged that the invasion of Iraq might have set off a chain reaction in the area, its key players' strategically illiterate approach to the Ukrainian conflict indicated a gradual loss of geopolitical sway. According to Chipman, the West should have done something in the years before the invasion and, most obviously, once the assault had begun to make Russian President Vladimir Putin dread an escalation. He claimed that the global South was lost due to it talking too much about NATO and not enough about UN Article 51. We need to have immediately proclaimed that this was an imperialist endeavor and a Russian campaign of recolonization. According to Chipman, Europe's geopolitical center of gravity will move due to the Ukraine war, as evidenced by Thursday's admittance of Finland to NATO. More generally, Russia will become a hugely reduced power. According to Chipman, the Middle East is ranked lower on the US's list of security priorities, representing a secondary geopolitical shift. Perhaps 10 years ago, the Middle East ranked first in the US's strategic priority list, followed by Asia and Europe, which were far behind. The Middle East is now a distant third place, with Europe currently in first place, Asia equal to Europe and expected to overtake it after the Ukraine war is made. A more strategic self-determination, particularly for Gulf states, has resulted from this transition, according to Chipman, who added that Gulf leaders no longer begin their morning meetings with the question, "What will the US think if we do this?" The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps and Iran's networks of influence and destabilization, which Chipman claimed should be the focus of the rest of the world because most attention is focused on Tehran's nuclear ambitions and its ballistic missile program, are primarily to blame for the ongoing tensions in the region. The author continued, "Perhaps the signatories of the Abraham Accords will need to play a role, quietly, to persuade Israel to keep its secular qualities, as Israel's inclination toward becoming a theocratic state poses a threat to regional stability." Chipman claimed that a rise in Japanese defense spending made Tokyo a more assertive power on the international scene, demonstrating the country's growing mistrust of North Korea, China, and Russia. Furthermore, he added, China's ascent has taken on such significance that no country in the world, however big or small, can afford not to have a China policy.